Oh, there was a story that was being ran on Twitter. And I saw this being shared by a lot of people. And the problem is that anytime I see stuff like this get shared, I do not share it. Okay. Not immediately. What I do is I always just wait and I try to see if there's any verified information, any kind of like anything tangible that you can hold on to that proves like what's being said. Especially when a post starts with confirmed, I'm always like, I feel like when somebody's screaming confirmed, I'm just like, is it really though? Is it really confirmed? Anyway, so there was a story being ran about Marathon, and apparently there was a Reddit task content farm for Marathon, which people were sharing, or one person was sharing a screenshot from a supposed Discord that was tied to this. That was apparently paying people $3 per comment that stuck, and per reply that stuck, and $5 per main post that stuck. Basically, people were being paid to promote Marathon online, right? Now, apparently this is not true. And again, this is why I didn't run this story. This is why I didn't make a video on this story, because I had a feeling it was fake. But I wanted to wait and see before I, but this was a screenshot they were sharing, basically showing the introducing OP task Marathon project only. Where they basically supposed to prove that they were paying for that. But apparently this is not the case whatsoever. This is completely faked. This person, I think, ends up admitting this later down the line. They're not the ones that faked it. I think they just fell for it. But context from the OP client provides comments in our post that the Discord members will copy and paste to the targeted subreddit. Engaging in Marathon content or promoting Marathon on Reddit. You get paid per successful post or comment. I would advise people to back up the post and images shared in the original post. According to the OP screenshot is from launch day of Marathon. And then there's an update. The OP of the Reddit post couldn't provide more than one-sided receipts and ghosted Reddit this morning, along with deleting all interactions and photos in the thread. So, yeah, that is basically proof that it was completely fucking made up and it was complete bullshit. But people were running with it. People were running with it. Now, ironically, this person tagged Smash, which is kind of funny. I don't know why this person tagged Smash. Maybe they wanted Smash to fall for it. I really don't. I have no idea. But they did tag Smash, and Smash, I believe, did post about it. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah. Now, yeah, he said, holy shit, this is as bad as the plagiarism scandal for Bungie. If it gets found out that the Discord is connected in any way to them, there is no coming back from this. So, like, kind of did, kind of fell for it, kind of didn't, And then, but he did update it. He said, update according to Kotaku. The screenshots displayed from a Discord server are fake. Yes, I understand Kotaku, but getting the story right is more important than any side beefs. That said, I wouldn't be surprised if Bungie is paying people on Reddit. Okay, so basically, what this is, and this is where I kind of want to laugh at this, right? Because Kotaku, this is how you know they stalk Smash JT, right? Or I should say, this is how you know Kotaku stalks the chuds, right? Because what we're going to do is we're going to check out their article. Okay, we're going to check out their article, right? So if you go to Kotaku, this is how you know they stalk the chuds, right? Because they're so obsessed. Brother, they are so obsessed with the chuds, it is unbelievable. Like, it's actually unbelievable. Some people are so desperate to hate Marathon, they've embraced a fake conspiracy about paid Reddit posts. Okay? Some folks on the internet, and again, they keep saying some folks on the internet, brother, you guys love the chuds. Can we stop? Can we stop this whole, like, we're not going to name them, they're Voldemort, right? Like, you guys treat us like fucking Voldemort. You're so scared of our names because you think by not saying our names, that's somehow going to stop our growth as creators. That hasn't done anything. Have they not realized that by not saying our names, that doesn't magically stop the growth of our channels? That doesn't magically stop people from checking out our streams. That doesn't magically stop people from conversing with us every day about video games and stuff. Like it doesn't stop anything. All you guys are doing is showing how much you fear these people. That's really it. Some folks on the internet have fallen for a very obviously fake story about Sony and Bungie paying people to promote Marathon. It's so funny how they're doing this from their ivory tower, right? They're treating this situation as if they've never done this before. Do you guys know how many bullshit stories Kotaku has ran? Do you know how many bullshit things Kotaku has spread out there for people? And yet they're high up on their ivory tower right now trying to debunk this story about Marathon, which, by the way, my God, how fast they did it. If only they were able to act this quickly with anything else, perhaps we could get somewhere in the world. But they don't. That's the problem. They do everything they possibly can to not do that. And then when it's something that they're ideologically aligned with, if it turns out it's true, they'll do everything to try to figure out how to actually deflect it. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually funny. But anyway, it's the ivory tower complex. They're like, oh, we're the real journalists, right? So they completely debunk it. And if you look, let me scroll down. It appears that they're paying people to create and boost positive posts on Marathon. This is called astroturfing, which, by the way, we're going to get into that in a second. If you take a look at some of the screenshots of the post, which I backed up here in case the person who faked this tries to delete their proof out of shame, you can see it in the top right that they've accidentally done a poor job of cropping out the server's name in the search bar. By overlaying Discord's font with the text, they've very poorly cropped out. I was able to figure out that the name of the server in question is Reddit Circle. And Reddit Circle is the name of the Discord server used by TaskPost, a self-described platform for completing Reddit posting tasks and earning cryptocurrency. By making a TaskPost account and joining their private server through the TaskPost website, I was able to join Reddit Circle and view the post in question. And then says that, as you can see, none of these posts actually mention Marathon in any way, shape, or form. It's made up nonsense, engineered in some kind of a bid to fake some ill will against Sony and Bungie. It's likely part of an ongoing campaign by far-right chuds on X to dunk on Marathon. Far-right chuds, ladies and gentlemen. Because you can't just leave politics out of it, right? It's got to be far-right. It has to be somebody who's right-wing that doesn't like Marathon. Everybody who's left-wing loves Marathon. Brother, are we really seriously? Seriously? Some of the most hardcore defenders of Marathon that I've seen online are what you would consider to be right-wing chuds. Isn't that actually hilarious? Isn't that actually hilarious? I have politics fatigue. Yeah, same here. It's like everything has to be right-wing or left-wing. Brother, this is about video games. Nobody gives a fuck about your politics, bro. Nobody gives a shit. Is far right supposed to be an insult? I have no idea, man. They've been saying it for years as if it fucking means something. It only means it's basically a signal to whoever their readers are that I guess agree with their politics. I don't really know. But these are descriptions to try to explain people that they don't want to name. Right? So they instead of saying, Smash JT or whatever, or Vara Dark, instead of naming people, they rather say, far right chuds. Right? Saint Jason says Adam Krigler was ball gargling Marathon and he's right wing. Yeah, exactly. Adam Krigler is defending the shit out of Marathon. The guy loves it. Good for him. The guy was going crazy over it. I was like, damn, this guy's bringing out the minigun for this game. But no, and he's not a fucking left wing person. So why are we fucking bringing politics into this? What the fuck does you know why? Because it's Kotaku. Let's be real, it's Kotaku. That's why they're bringing it into it. So anyway, supposedly there's an ongoing campaign. Now, to be fair, there are a lot of Twitter users that are constantly talking about Marathon and bringing up their numbers every 2 hours. So I can understand that. But to try to claim it's far right chuds, I mean, you're a fucking joke, bro. You're a joke. Anyway, so they that's probably why the original poster on Reddit also posted the same nonsense in the Gamergate discussion subreddit, where folks unsurprisingly also fell for it. Again, ivory tower nonsense. They try to pretend like they're the smartest ones in the room. They're the coolest ones in the room because they don't supposedly fall for fake news, or they don't make fake news, which is exactly what they do all the time. We know that they do it all the time. Just in case whoever made this up tries to use it as an out, I included timestamps of the posts that were edited on Discord. And then, of course, they have to close out with this. Maybe the folks on X should leave the investigative journalism to the real journalists in the future. Brother, are we serious right now? Are we serious right now? The real investigative okay. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Maybe they are the real maybe they are. Right? Maybe they are the real investigative journalists. Okay? Maybe they are. Because I've seen some banger investigative journalists from them. Right? Their investigative journalism is amazing. I mean, how else am I going to get this kind of news? How else? How else? Like, we have to leave it. We have to leave it to the journalists. These guys are the ones that know how to do investigative journalism. How else am I going to know that one of their journalists is on anti-HIV medication? How am I going to know that? I need to know these things. I need to know these things, right? These are hard-hitting stories. I have to know this, right? I don't care if you guys disagree with me. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, that's just the truth. I need to know that these male journalists are on anti-HIV medication. I have to know this. So, anyway, here's what I will say about the Kotaku story, obviously. So, good on them for debunking it. Congratulations, you finally did something. But what I do find funny is that they're so fast to do damage control for Marathon. Meanwhile, they're the ones that would just turn a blind eye anytime one of their video games that is ideologically aligned with them either does something stupid, right? Like somebody over at one of the studios that they align with in like Sucker Punch or whatever. They'll pretend like nothing's happening. They won't even talk about it. They'll just turn a blind eye. They won't jump on it like they do with this. But of course, since they're ideologically aligned with Marathon, or for some reason they're shilling for Bungie, which, by the way, can we just say the following thing? Okay. Let me show you something really quick. Okay. Let me show you something really quick. So they're trying to call it a conspiracy. They're trying to say it's not happening and people aren't paying posts for Marathon. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. You're saying astroturfing is illegal and all that stuff. And okay, that's fine. That's fine. So right now we're here. Right? It's not happening. Now it's a conspiracy theory. We're going here next. You want to know why? Because just because they're not paying people for posts doesn't mean that Marathon is not paying people to promote the game. And I understand the journalists are going to try to gaslight you and they're going to try to tell you that it's not the same, but it absolutely is the same. You know how many streamers had hashtag ad in their streams when they were playing Marathon for the first 2 days? They all had hashtag ad in every single one of their streams. And then once they got stopped paying, once they weren't being paid to play Marathon anymore, almost every single one of them ran away to go play Arc Raiders again. So how exactly is this not the same? How exactly is that not astroturfing in any way? Right? Is it going to be because why? It's not a post. It's because you're paying a person to promote the game. Again, this is like they'll take the meaning, they'll take the words, and they'll try to switch it around, and they'll play around with the fucking meaning and try to gaslight you and explain to you it's the same shit, brother. They're paying an insane amount of money to these people to promote the game. We're talking about millions of dollars, guaranteed millions of dollars to promote this game to all these streamers that were playing the game with hashtag ad in their fucking streams. Guaranteed, man. So let's stop pretending as if this is not happening. Again, you can call it a conspiracy theory, and it might be a conspiracy theory for the Reddit post, but let's not pretend like they're not paying people to promote the game. Which, by the way, it's not really helping them out too much because we're about to do a right-wing chud move. You guys ready? You guys ready? We're about to do a right-wing chud move. I know they hate this shit. That's why I do it. And they're watching too. So we're about to do a right-wing chud move. Guys, it's not working. It's not working. I thought this game would maintain 50K. I really, really thought that this game was going to maintain 50K. I'm not lying to you. I thought that there was enough Bungie shills to get it to that number. especially with the cryo archive thing that they came out with. But then they made cryo archive weekend only. Like, how stupid are you making cryo archive weekend only? Why the fuck would you do that? Like, why you want to dominate people's time in order for them to enjoy an end game content in your game? You want people to say, "Yep, fuck every other game on my weekend," which is most people's free time. I demand that you play Marathon on the weekend if you want to enjoy this content exclusively for the weekend. Like, are you stupid? Did the numbers go up? Let's see. Fuck. Damn. It's looking rough, boys. It's looking rough. But in any case, I mean, listen, it is what it is. I think Marathon has found their player base. It's lower than what I thought it was going to be, but they found their player base. And as long as enough people that are in this 40,000, which is probably equivalent to about 400,000 people playing the game, 300,000 people playing the game around there. As long as those people, a good amount of them, buy those $20 color palette swaps, then they should be able to survive, no problem. You know? Look at Akuma. See, you can't, YouTubers like Hypno, as he proclaimed 50K players for Marathon, yet it only got 40K followed to the legit journalist. Yeah, I know. Felt it. Absolutely felt it. When does Fair Games come out? Brother, I don't know. I can't wait for the fresh memes. I don't know. I don't know when it's gonna come out. All right, quickly, we gotta cover the story with Valve.